episode of What's in the Box is here. Come see what we've got this week. Hi, Justin.
Hey, Emily.
Always good to see you.
Good to be here.
Watches, watches, watches. That's what we're talking about today,
That's
right?
what we do, yeah.
We've got wrist checks. We've got a watch of the week. I'm excited to see what they have set aside. I'm sure you guys are too. But before we do that, can we do a wrist check?
Yeah.
What are you wearing today?
It's a Luminor kind of day.
Okay.
Yeah, Panerai. This is the titanium. I love this watch. I just love the color and tone of it. Also love me a good Luminor. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
The bracelet looks great on it too. Kind of that contrast of titanium with some
that little warmer color in the titanium with the brown on the leather. It's a good color combo, yeah.
You always find the good ones.
Yeah, thanks. What do you got on today?
I've done on a birth year date. You see this Onyx style on
yes.
it? Yep. Kind of that simplistic but still very loud watch.
Yeah.
I love this. 36 millimeter for me, but again, it's the dial, everything. And even my date window and the day window, ivory, kind of matches that gold tone.
Yeah, has a little vintage feel to it with that ivory tone. I love those sterile black dials. There's just something so impactful of just that field of black with just the tiniest little hints of gold. Classy.
Yep, this stood out to me in the early days, and honestly, it still holds a really big place in my heart. So that's what we're wearing. What are you guys wearing while watching? We always love to hear your own personal wrist check. So wrist checks complete. Are you ready to see the watch of the week?
Let's
I
do
know
it.
I am. I have no idea what this is going to be, but I do know that they set aside something that just came off the truck, and so let's hope that
it's always something
good,
good, so I'm excited.
Let's get it. Thank you so much. Did you like the honors
Yes.
today? You can even guess if you want. I feel like I kind of take over
Let's see. Let's work it out as we get into it.
Makes me wonder if it's a vintage.
Ooh, that would be nice. We did have a vintage recently, which we don't see as many vintage, but that one was a really nice seed dweller.
I always would love to see a root beer GMT.
Yeah.
Ooh,
okay, see Rolex already.
Standard. For the record, about 95% of our inventory is Rolex because that's what we specialize in. So it makes sense. Most of the time, we uncover Rolex.
It's not a vintage root beer, I can tell you already. Sorry to disappoint.
All right, you look. I'll guess.
I'm gonna guess before I open it.
Oh, you get
I'm gonna guess GMT. I'm just gonna guess a new GMT. The Batman. I'm gonna say Batman.
Bruce Wayne. Did you imagine that one being in already?
That would be good. I was wrong.
Okay.
I was wrong. But you can guess, and I will let you know.
I'm gonna stay with a date. What kind of date? Let's just say something crazy. I don't think it would be in that box, but let's do the Eason Kiesel date.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
I would love to unbox that.
I would love to unbox that too.
Is it?
It's not. I was actually closer, but it is just as impressive.
Look at that blue bezel.
Yes. The Rolex Submariner 126619.
Yeah.
This is the white gold, black dial, blue bezel. Nicknamed the Cookie Monster. Yes. Great watch.
Wow.
Great watch.
The predecessor was the Smurf.
Yes.
The 116619. Love that watch. Love this watch.
I love these. I love the blue. We love blue, right?
Yes.
Like watches blue. It's a thing. Submariner. They had the blue in the Smurf, was from 2008 until 2020, I believe, when this one came out and replaced it.
Yeah, which the key differentiator here between Submariners of, vast array, and this one is the white gold. This is not stainless steel.
Right, this is
that subtle under the radar.
If you don't know, it just looks like a stainless steel watch.
Yeah.
It's not super flashy. The color is very slightly different than steel. So if they're next to each other, you can tell that the white gold does have a warmer tint to it. You're not going to really notice that from across the room, but if you see the blue on the Submariner, you know it's white gold. They don't do blue on the Submariner that's stainless, so that's kind of a giveaway. But this one's great. I like the black dial.
I love black dials. I really do. For some reason, though, I kind of like that bold punch of the Smurf a little bit more. But I think this full package is great.
This comes up all the time when we talk about these, so I'm gonna ask you.
You will.
Which one is it? Do you prefer the Smurf or do you prefer the newer Cookie Monster version?
Okay, it's the size thing for me also. This is 41 millimeter, right?
Yes, they transitioned Submariners to 41 millimeters this year, so this is slightly bigger, very similar otherwise, but yeah, different color dial, slightly bigger case. case. This one also has
70-hour power reserve, I know that.
70-hour power reserve, that's
up.
nice. It is gonna lose a point for me on the lug width. This is the 21 millimeter lug width, which I do not like at all.
Yeah.
Just for convenience, 20 millimeter is so easy. I find any strap in 20 millimeter pretty much. 21, plus I also selfishly have a drawer full of 20 millimeter straps that I like to put on everything.
Which is fair.
So the 21 is a little inconvenience. I mean, it's not a deal killer, but I'll take off a point or two for that. But which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the Smurf or the newer Cookie Monster version?
Without hesitation, I would go with the Smurf, the 116619. Gets my vote, but I really do enjoy this. It kind of alludes to the Batman, but not in that GMT configuration. So I think seeing this on my watch friend's wrist, I love this watch. But I'd say if this were strictly a personal vote, I'm going Smurf.
I'm gonna agree with you.
Really?
I'm gonna agree with you.
I'm surprised.
I like the blue on blue. And the Hulk Kermit debate, we have the same thing. That one I find myself going back and forth. I've been Team Hulk for a long time, but lately I've kind of been on Team Kermit. Anyway, that one's a little closer for me. But in general, I kind of like I'm all in. When it's the color, I want the blue bezel, blue dial, I'm all the way in.
And I know that we're kind of unique in that. So where do you guys fall on that debate?
What do they think?
Do you choose Smurf or do you choose this a la Cookie Monster?
This looks so good.
I know, and in person, I feel like I want to change my mind, but I know where my heart stands, and that is with the Smurf. So that's my vote. I love that bracelet so much too.
Me too, and more so than that, I love the clasp. This has the glide lock on it, which I think is so convenient.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you're actually diving,
man, I love that.
Yeah. Real.
Even for me, sometimes I feel like watches, if I have a little bit fatter day, they're a little tighter on my wrist. So yeah, being able to change it really quickly, it's so comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Also the weight, right? It's hard to translate over video, but when you pick this up, you can tell that it's not stainless steel. That's one of the biggest.
Which I think allows us to kind of fly under the radar a little bit more. I mean, you're such an artistic person and with your photography and whatever background that you pick up on that brushed note a little bit better than I can. I'm still really learning that. Unless I'm really comparing them side by side, it's tough for me to pick out in the wild,
It's very subtle.
Yeah, this thing is
when
heavy.
you see it next to each other, you can see a difference, but outside of that, it's really tough. It is heavy, and I like that. I don't think that's to its detriment, it's too heavy, it's uncomfortable. That's not what I'm saying at all. I actually like the fact that when I pick it up, it's heavier than I expect.
Yeah.
It has that feeling of quality and heft, and so
I want to see
I
this
actually
one
really
on
like
your wrist
that.
too.
Yeah.
I like when you wear bigger watches because, let's just be honest, you have a bigger wrist, you can pull those things off. So you gravitate towards watches that I probably wouldn't.
And here, I'm going to utilize that glide lock right now. And
Put
see,
it to work.
There we go.
This package is nice too. It's a full set. You've got the hang tags.
That
You've
one's
got
nice.
Box and papers. This one's
okay. I'll take
great
it.
watch. Whoa, that looks good.
Right? That looks so good.
Yeah.
Okay, another
That's
disappointing.
not fair.
Another disappointing thing about this watch is, it's like 3+ times the price because it's white gold. So if you really like the blue color but not necessarily the price tag, you're kind of out of luck. But I like that. It makes it special, right? You don't see that many of them out in the wild.
You're right.
Every once in a while, I do see one around, and I'm always, oh yeah, that's good. That's one to take note of.
One last thing I'll note, and then we'll wrap this review and unboxing up. The all-white text. Impeccable.
Yes.
If they had done anything different, it would stand out in probably not a good way.
Yeah.
I like that sort of subtle little note about it too, that you're keeping it all white. I know it was white on the Smurf too, but even the bluesies, you know how it gets into the white versus the gilt, and it's nice that they're not trying to be too standouty with it.
I do, and they do it. Rolex will do that. They'll have the green, on the GMT where it's they have the green hand and they have the green, and I really, really like that. On this one, or even the Explorer 2, they'll have the orange with the orange, and I love the way it connects. This one, I think I would be disappointed if there was any blue text on the dial.
The black gives you the pop on this one.
Yes, it's just very black and white, and then it has that blue bezel. It's just fantastic the way they put it together.
I will give our shipping department an A+.
Yeah,
great snag.
Shows a good one.
This was fun. I definitely am curious your guys' thoughts on this watch. Where do you fall in the Smurf Cookie Monster debate? But even so, if you guys are fans of this watch, whether you have it personally or have just been looking for it, what details do you like the most? What stands out? What are you gravitating towards the most? These are just what we know and what stands out to us. So weigh in. Let us know where you guys fall on this review itself.
Leave us a comment below. It's a good one.
Please do. Well, as always, it's great to chat watches with you, Justin. I know we will be back with a future episode very soon. So until then, everybody, be well.